All right, guys, so hopefully this helps someone not get totally screwed. This McLaren is super busted. It's going to auction tomorrow in the Concord, North Carolina location for Copart. The seller's not listed, which means it's likely already been bought and doctored up for resale. It auctioned last week. The winning bid was low $60,000. It's now listed with a buy now option, I think, of $87K. And it's not worth that at all. Unfortunately, I can't open it because the batteries are totally dead. So I'm gonna kind of just try to show you the damage. I forget what all is listed as far as damage goes, but it's a lot more than you'd expect. So you've got some broken glass here. This door is totally busted. It's supposed to be like that, but basically that door is pushed back. Everything seems pushed back. They list undercarriage damage, I think, on here, but you're talking about a carbon fiber tub. It's probably completely destroyed. So everything's pushed back. The hood's pushed back and is jammed. Your trim here is busted. You've actually got, I don't think that it's an ECU, but some kind of controller that's loose. There's some connections down here that are broken. This is off. I mean, you're missing trim. You got some damage back here. Oh, there we go. So engine wise, there is no key with this, so it's listed as a non-runner. Apparently the battery is not connected, or just not here. If you look at the back, the spoiler's twisted. One hydraulic is different than the other, but the exhaust is actually cantered as well. There's a lot of stuff smashed on this thing, way beyond what I expected. Tons of loose connections and wire harnesses. I will say that everything underneath is pretty clean as far as the wind dams on the bottom. Control arm, rear passenger side looks good, but there's a lot of random stuff that's kind of smashed and damaged. That tells me there's way more going on here. Even this, so here on the back, this is scratched and dented and kind of crushed a little bit. So again, some connections, tons of connections missing. So I don't even know what belongs back here, but someone's messed with this, and that's exactly what you don't want in a salvage car. I've bought a couple things on Copart and learned the hard way after the very first time that you should go check stuff out yourself. It's also got carbon ceramic brakes. I haven't looked at those to see like how busted they are in general. Oh, good. That literally just fell right off. It's broken. Clips are missing. You know, you also got to consider if they're moving this thing with a forklift. So again, underneath, pretty flat and clean, which you would want and expect. The question is, what's been taken off, removed, put back to hide it? So here's how your door is sitting right now on the driver's side. You have a hole busted in it. This rear window, driver's side is smashed. Top window is smashed. Yeah, I mean, the guy who bought this and is trying to flip it wants 90 grand. The engine's worth a little over 50 probably. But this thing is not a $90,000 car. It's being sold with a clean title, which is crazy. It's a dealer only clean title. And my worry is someone, so again, I can't get in there. I also don't think that you can see in the auction photos that are listed, but there are airbags deployed. I think the interior photo mostly showed the screen in the center, which is dead. So yeah, hopefully this helps someone who thought about buying this car or Googles the VIN down the road because it's being sold with a clean title and you can find out this is what it was like. I actually just also saw this gravel's real comfortable too. So here's a hose that's loose, but here's your frame rail. So yeah, passenger side frame rail. Now driver side looks straight. I'll crawl over there in a minute and see. But here we go. Here's what we couldn't see before. So some rigid lines. Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff down here on this side. So this is the front side now. I'm at the passenger side. The control arm does have some damage to it. Most of that damage right here is on the control arm where it mounts to the body, the frame. So on this side, you got, oh, here you go. Front driver's side. Your mounting point for your control arm is completely broken, among other things. Yeah, so someone doctored this up to make it look like it does. I actually contemplated putting a bid on this and then realized because it's a dealer only title I can't. And I thought, well, it's 30 minutes away, I'll go check it out. It's close enough to go take a look and check it out. Figured the battery would be dead. The manual override requires a key. There's no key with it at all. So like I said, guys, this is kind of a classic Copart deal. Let's see. Where someone bought it, doctored it up enough to look a little bit better, and then it's trying to flip it. The other weird thing, so here's the back we're talking about. This is now the heat shield for the engine. And if you look, this is crushed and ripped in several places, which is really odd. So what I think happened is this thing probably lost control and spun around and took a hit on the back end as well as the front. It's listed as damage all over, but man, I mean, with as expensive as parts are from McLaren's, this thing is not cheap to fix. Oh, this is my favorite. I just saw this. Here's what looks to be a wood screw, maybe a machine screw. Just drilled right through the hood, sticking out because they're trying to get something to stay in place. I mean, you can see it took a collision up here. Again, the frame rail over here is busted. So it took a hit up here, but it looks like it's got some back end damage as well. So if you're thinking about buying this McLaren, SBM14 Delta Charlie Alpha X-Ray Juliet Whiskey 000887, 2018 720S. Last mileage registered on a history report was still under 20K. But man, this thing would be a nightmare to fix. I imagine it's just gonna get cycled through several flips at auction before someone takes a hit on it, or someone with deep pockets decides to either fix it or part it out and pull the $50,000-$60,000 engine out of it. You're gonna deal with all kinds of electrical problems here beyond just mechanical. I mean, fenders are thousands of dollars. Like, you're talking about the majority of the body panels, not even the carbon fiber tub. And I'm sure the carbon fiber tub has some major damage to it. It's just not visible. Here's a footprint. This is awesome. This is what you don't get from photos and why you should go look at cars firsthand. There's a footprint on the wheel liner of the car. That tells me that that part came off and was on the ground and someone walked on it. Why would that part come off? Why is this zip tied? Because someone is trying to rip someone off and make this thing look like it doesn't have frame damage. Now granted, I will say, I've dealt with frame damage. This is probably not that bad. It appears just to be the end. The rest of the rail looks solid and straight. You wouldn't know until it's on a frame machine, but you just don't know what you're getting into with these auction cars, and that's why you really have to know that you're rolling the dice if you don't see them firsthand. So anyway, yeah, don't buy it. It's a bucket of parts. Clean interior except for a knee bag, knee airbag and steering wheel airbag that deployed, but it is not the $90,000 car that the seller wants for it. And hopefully this helps some people avoid getting ripped off, because that's what seems to be happening here.